Ta-da! Happy New Year. Happy 2026. Good morning, Nigeria. Good morning, world. It's been a while. Last time we saw you was last year, 2025. And, we're here now. Brand new, the first installment of Morning Spring for the year today, 1st of January, year 2026. And better be used to that. It's now 2026, not 2025. Femi Ojo is my name. I bring you good tidings that you cannot refuse. It's good to see you in this new year, doing what we know how to do best, speaking truth to power, conversing about everything that truly matter here in Nigeria and sometimes across the world. So excited to welcome you to Morning Spring 2026, first edition. And of course, Topper is here. Compliment of the season. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you, Femi.
Yeah.
It's good to see you.
It's good to see you.
I'm glad you made it.
Yeah, same here. Same here.
And I'm glad you all made it too, dear viewers. Thank you so much for, having kept faith all through 2025. It is a new year. It's freshness everywhere. We're spreading the word. Let's do a great partnership. Let's have a great partnership. Let's do a great work together for 2026. I'm super glad to be here for this first installment for the year, for the month, but the penultimate for the week. My name is Timitope Ajijola. Wishing you a wonderful and prosperous year ahead.
Yeah. Well, as they say, the old is gone, the new is
in
here.
with the new.
Right. Is and this is the season of people updating their status with New Year, New Me. which is more like a cliche these days. New
We're
Year,
talking
New
about
Me.
that too.
And there are some that will see those status and say, if you understand what people mean by the time they do their nose like that, you just as you see one individual that I was always possibly be putting that for the past 5 years without nothing changing, or possibly even getting worse. Then when people scroll and they see it, you just all right, but from here is New Year, New Us, better, engagement, doing things better, and of course, saying it as it is, because that is what we are here for at Western Spring Television. And of course, you get to see other, angles to what we do, infusion of different dynamics that would make you to be proud of us, actually, here on Morning Spring on Western Spring Television. And this is the day, 1st of January, the commencement of the tax laws in Nigeria.
Yeah.
Right. It is now, it has been law before, but then the commencement, was 0000 January 1, 2025. So right now, all of those things in those laws, at least we stay with whatever was worked at the National Assembly. It is now law. So everything is expected to run. And of course, you deserve to know how to, handle your affairs at this time. What to do, what not to do, how to be a good Nigerian, really. And if there are, and how not to shortchange yourself, because we are hearing there are ways you can handle your matter so that you won't be, while you are being patriotic, you still have some things for yourself as well. And I think many persons are worried, to say how we don't have enough. And the government wants to take as much as possible from us. But that's why we are here to tell you and to say it as it is, for you to have an update and authentic information, especially it has to do with money, it has to do with tax.
Yeah. Well, I think that we have had, in 2025, we had a series of talks on the tax laws, and then we're here now. But yesterday, that was the end of the year, Bala Mohammed was saying interesting things about that, and he also harped on the tax laws and how it was going to affect, people in the year. You also recall that our analyst for the last day of the year as well also spoke to the fact that although the tax laws may, be geared towards, betterment for Nigerians, but the fact remains that policies that are unpopular with the people should, should be shelved or should be done away with. And, we have all of those, but we'll still be talking, right? Several people, even several economics, tax experts, some of them do not agree with the laws, some do. And I think that if we're having the sparring views, around a particular thing, then there probably is, different angles to it. So.
Well, it is, and that's why we're here. Talking about Bala Mohammed, he spoke, at a particular meeting he had when he hosted some persons who came to give him award, and he spoke on a range of things.
Yes.
But I just feel, don't let's start on a ranting level. But then, if it's even ranting, it's not a rant, it's Bala Mohammed's rant, who talked about how he's been victimized by the Nigerian government just on the altar of politics. And he said his finance commissioner has been detained, and he is being accused of terrorism. He even said him,
as a
Bala
governor.
Mohammed, a governor, and his name is being, flipped up in some quarters, even as a sitting governor. He doesn't have to be a part of the APC, and he feels it's just because of politics. And he said, if the federal government don't stop, he's bringing war. That's what he said, and I feel, oh wow. He said, yes, they are going to get war because he has been silent for quite some time, and now he won't be silent
for the peace of the state.
Yeah, just because to maintain his peace, he doesn't want to ruffle the feathers and all of those things because of his place. But now, if you need war, he's ready to give them war. And again, before we hit the brakes for the papers, right now, yesterday, it was, a day of big statement across the Southeast. Because many of their political bigwigs, some of their political bigwigs rather, moved
to the ADC.
To the African Democratic Congress, the ADC, with the arrowhead P2B, Victor Ume, Senator Yinaya Baribe. Right. So right now you can say the ADC now has some, 7 officials in their ranks because they had none before. But now the Southeast made their decision. Some members of the Southeast rather made their decision to say enough of rumor and speculation. This is where they belong right now, and they are trading whatever they have in plans with the ADC. And of course, you expect there'll be reactions to that.
Of course, of course, and that's what we talk about in politics, in the political space. 24 hours is a lot of time. And then also about the consolidations that we've been seeing and how things can change in a very, very, things can change swiftly. And we'll also see on the papers today some interesting things to, or, some updates to that.
Well, talking about papers, that is what we will give you next. Stay with us. Right, we could start the newspaper headline segment right now this morning at this time from the Punch newspaper. The Punch newspaper punching in hard. Well, 2026 outlook, Tinubu pledges strong economic rebound. 2026 outlook, Tinubu pledges strong economic rebound. Of course, with a rider, President prioritizes lower inflation, stronger reserves, rising GDP in 2026. Governors, lawmakers urge unity and security reforms. Right, and 600 billion naira war chest can't save Fubara in 2027. 600 billion naira war chest can't save Fubara in 2027. Wike, well, I think Nigerians would rather have better stories to their ears right now. 2027 showdown. ADC assures Tinubu's return as Obi as ADC ticket. Let me take that again. 2027 showdown. APC assures Tinubu's return as Obi's ADC. Take care. In fact, you have to be very, very intentional when you're calling these parties right now. ADC, APC. You know, sounding almost the same syllable, just different of the P and the C. Well, it is what it is. And by the way, the president spoke, you know, has addressed Nigerians and made promises about 2026 as well. You know, in his New Year message, where he vowed to empower 1,000 citizens per word nationwide. 1,000 citizens per word nationwide. And it's a lot, actually. And I remember when you're talking about this empowerment, on what level? Remember on that Festus Keyamo, there was this employment per ward. Is it 4 per ward or 6 per ward for these, you know, duty of sweeping the floor, you know, taking care of the drainage and all of those things for 3 months, I think, or it was 6. I think it was 3 months. Or thereabout. Well, these are some of those, you know, these are some of those interventions that you can't really define, that you can't really
quantify.
Yeah, in terms of success, actually, their impact on the people, because it was just neither here nor there. No probe, no nothing, no accountability. Oh, we've done it, that's all. 3 months. Who are the people? Those people, did they do their work? Actually, it's not conditional cash transfer, because that one, you might say, is a loan. I mean, it's a grant, but this one's supposed to be some persons, you know, identified in some local governments or per ward or per local government doing some things. Did they do the work? Was the money given to them? Was it consistent? Who are you going to ask? And I hope we start a new course this year so that we are not just back on this issue of government announcing, you know, policies and voting money for that policy. And we can't determine, we can't say if actually it went through or not. And it ends. Sometimes you don't even know. It's maybe a month later you remember and say, my government said this and this, and that's all. We hope we chat in it.
Yes, and that's why several quarters from the Nigerian space always, and the media especially, always harp on the importance of embarking on empowerment programs or empowerment initiatives that are grounded in changing the economy of people, not just for upticks and all of those things. It's important that you find traceable changes in the lives of those people. I mean, when you empower people with, I mean, sweeping and cleaning or drainage, I mean, that's not sustainable employment, and that's not.
Yeah.
We hope we can do better in 2026.
Because from the outset, they said it was going to be 3 months. But the thing is, the people that were supposed to be the beneficiaries.
People for 3 months?
It's not employment, actually. That's not employment.
Exactly.
And that's sometimes you imagine the think tank team of any government or policy, if actually there's anything like that, who comes up with these things? Because it's more like if you want to give people money, just call it that name. Because for 3 months, who is supervising? Who is doing what? Those persons, did they get them? The Empower, remember the Empower policy? I think one of the most beautiful policies under Buhari government and all of those things. At some point, I know so many persons who enjoyed, you know, really without being politicians or getting politicians' laws. But the thing is, some were owed till now. Some got their pay. Some didn't get it. And you know, it was in batches, batch 1, batch 2, batch 3. So if you didn't get your money, it's gone. If you were lucky to have some money to yourself, that is it. And nobody will be asked. Nobody, we just move on. That's my input. We need to do things better. Yeah, that'll be all from that paper.
All right, let's check out the face of Nigerian Tribune newspaper this morning. And the banner headline here says, New Year message, Tinubu breaks silence on joint military operations with United States. And the rider says his administration will deepen cooperation with regional, global partners to eliminate threats to national security. Restates focus on growth-oriented economy, and right there, reforms giving concrete results. All right, so the new year brings a break in silence on the joint military operations with the United States. And beside the nameplates right there, Peter Obi joins ADC. Right, And those headlines right there on Nigerian Tribune newspaper this morning.
All right, from the Nigerian Tribune, we moved to the next set of headlines, and that will be from the Nation newspaper. New tax laws will bring prosperity. New tax laws will bring prosperity. I just say amen to that. All right, of course, hope is the best we have for now.
Mm.
All right. Obi's defection opens battle for ADC ticket with Atiku. Obi's defection opens battle for ADC ticket with Atiku. Presidency, Labour Party dismiss as governance action. Presidency, LP, that's Labour Party dismiss ex-governance action. By the way, there is this balance around here that will say the Yoruba says Omoloku ti deyan buruku. What it means is the child of the deceased, when you're having a party and possibly your old, your grandparents or your parents has gone by, and the way we do around here, most of the times there are O1 bears. And now the Omoloku, that's the direct descendant, offspring of the deceased, who has given you food, nice music, and all of those things. And you are praising that person. And maybe the day after, and people are complaining about, oh, the food wasn't enough, meat wasn't enough. And Yoruba will say, oh, Omoloku ti wa di eyan buruku. Meaning, in this case, all of a sudden, the LP, they are dismissing Peter Obi. You just say from when to where. This Peter Obi, well, it is their, it is what it is in politics. First Lady's National Library Fund closes at 25 billion naira.
Never knew it was still open.
What?
Never knew it was still open.
First Lady's National Library Fund closes at 25 billion, and that means the target has been met. And so it is what it is. Investors net 32 trillion naira gains at stock market. That will be all from the Nation newspaper.
All right, let's check out the face of the Guardian newspaper for this morning. And the banner headline says, Tinubu promises better economy, security amid opposition's knocks. Right, that's on page 6 of The Guardian. About that, Obi's ADC defection fractures Labour Party, reshapes opposition ahead of 2027. Wow. I thought the Labour Party was fractured already, right? Maybe a deeper fracture there. And beside that, investors bullish on Nigerian stock market earn 37 trillion naira in 2025. Abuja courts dismisses suit against new tax act. January 1 take up. Abuja court dismisses suit against new tax act. January 1 take up. That's page 4 of the Guardian newspaper. And those are the headlines for the Guardian newspaper this morning.
The much awaited or touted January 1, that is where we are right now.
Yes.
This is the day. Because at some point it looked so far away. Many persons are waiting. What's going to happen? All of a sudden, we are in January 1. Here we are. And of course, talking about the tax laws, as we said earlier, how to handle your business at this time as a private individual, as a private business owner, as a corporate business owner, as a civil servant, as a petty trader, as, and unemployed persons. What are you expected to do so that while you are being patriotic, you are not still burdened. And we look at the nitty-gritty of the prospect that comes with these tax laws. If actually it's for you, because the Nigerian government has said it was going to happen, and now this is the day. So we can officially say the tax laws has begun. Stay with us.